I understand that you would like our medical documents to prove some of these cases. It's very hard for us to step up and give information and help y'all with these situations if you're only going to give them a slap on the wrist, because that's a slap in our face.
I'd like to address it. I've had that opportunity to talk to Ms. Park this evening, and so she and I had an opportunity to talk about some of these things you read. One of the things I want to reiterate, OGA is not required that you score. I tell you that if you make a call to our office, if you send us an email, if you report it, and it's related to oil and gas activity, we're going to respond. The issue of the 12-hour response and sometimes responding, making a determination in the middle of the night, whether to come out that night or to come the next morning, it is part of investigative safety. I will say that. The other issue is that part of the things that we're talking about is that when the complaint is lodged, we are coming out there for specific purpose. That is to address the compliance status of that facility. And if we determine that there is any substantial danger going on right there, we're going to try to get that company out there, try to get them involved directly in any abatement or emergency response activity has to take place. We're not going to be able to do that ourselves. We're going to try to get them to do that. So the first thing I want to say is that as an agency, we're going to try to respond and come under chemical compliance as soon as practical within that 12-hour time frame. But we're going to definitely say to you guys that if in fact you are experiencing a situation that is an emergency, then I'm going to say 911 is also going to be chief part, because we want our staff are going to come out there for a specific purpose. That is not going to be to address that emergency if one actually exists. We're going to be out there. We're going to get into have to call 911 or call that company and have the emergency staff out there. So if you're believing that's going on, call us first. But right after they call 911. Because that's who's going to address that. But we are going to try to make sure that when we're out there that we can do something. And many times in the middle of the night with an unmanned facility, the one thing we want to determine is whether or not there's something going on right then that we need to get them out there. Otherwise, we may make that determination that we're still going to need the 12 hours, but we're going to do it on a daytime hour where we can actually see the site. We can move around that facility.
The FLIR camera shows that too.
Well, again, I want to make sure very clear, because I want to make sure that I can explain to you the expectations we're praying for ourselves. We do think about the staff safety. If this is a site that we've not been to before, and we don't have any familiar area out there, we're concerned about our usefulness. And so we want to make sure we're there within that 12-hour time frame. We also want to add value while we're out there. So, and so that goes into the decision making on whether or not at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night, we decide to come at daybreak when there's one. But if we hear things in the complaint, it doesn't require order. But if we hear things in the complaint that says, hey, there's something going on right now that we need to be there for, one, I'm asking ask you to call now, and we still want to respond. But we do use those kind of things in our matrix.
What do we say to 911? Please come out of a dead chicken?
Well, I guess what I'm saying is that if it's a dead chicken, I'm saying that if there's not something out there that's apparently killing that chicken, if there is something out there that's apparently killing that chicken, yeah, I think that's what you're telling me. But my point is this, that we're going to try to get out there as soon as possible.
911 will not respond. You might want to clear this with 911 because they're not going to respond. I mean, people have called 911 and they said that call the TCEQ.
And again, we're going to try to respond with that time back. But what I'm saying is that there are things out there that are outside of our jurisdiction. Things that you're talking about that I would say to you that if I were in that situation, and I do have oil and gas activity in my neighborhood, if I were in that situation, I would be calling it. I may want my staff out there looking at it from an environmental standpoint, trying to comply with the facility. Because I believe the emergency is going, I'm going to call that 911.
Well, if it's our family that's having effects, 911 is going to tell us about emergency room.
I mean, 911 is also police, it's fire. So I don't know if that would be, I don't believe that would be the only thing they tell you to do with emergency.
Could you again tell us what the pathway is to getting to the Attorney General? Because what you said was not very clear to me, and it sounded like it's months and months away. And when you have when you're living in your husband's office, that's an awfully long time to wait.
And I'll restate it, I don't know if the answer will make any more sense. If there's not an imminent substantial endangerment at that time, there are activities that we have to deal with, that we address, where that activity is still going on. In this particular case, it was an activity that took place, it's now ceased. But if an activity were going on and the company could not or would not stop that activity, that referral could be immediate.
This is a repeated
Right,
offense.
and I'm sort of saying that is a challenge in this case. If this were a continuing activity, one where that endangerment situation was going on and that company could not or would not stop that referral to the Attorney General's office to get that shut down would be immediate. It could be immediate. The challenge here is that that issue that was that substantial endangerment has ceased. And so the process is going through our enforcement division to determine whether or not the action should be held through our litigation courts or a referral to so I can't say to you that that time will be the same if in fact this activity will continue.
Okay, but a pattern of substantial endangerment has been established, so does that have,
Ms. Wilson, I don't know if I can explain any different. I'll try different words, but the issue is that if it were going on, if it were continuing to go on, and that company would not or could not stop it, then we could immediately go to the Attorney General's office to get that shut down. Since that is not the case, that process, it's not happening in that process. I don't think it could happen in that process. But it would be based on the fact that that activity is continuing.
So you're saying 24/7, has to go on 24/7 for the rest of our lives, and then we can turn it over to the Attorney General.
Let me say rest of your, I'm saying to you that the issue between the time, the process we're going through now is one where it's going through our normal enforcement process. And then in that process, there is that review to determine, hey, is this company going to be a repeater, continue to repeat this? Is this something that they are not going to continue to wait? That's the decision making that's going on now. And it's taking that due process. But if this were something that were going on, and we determine that this is a substantial endangerment, and they have not, and we believe that there's a life impact, that a safety issue is going on right there. The conditions that were being experienced during the investigation, the condition that Ms. Parr was talking about, that she experienced, that she called us out on, we went out and confirmed. If that were continuing, and they could not or would not stop that, we would then be able to engage the Attorney General to shut up the city down immediately.
So you're
So you're
saying
saying you can't use,
then it stopped, just because you didn't call.
Well, it's stopped. Now, I'm not saying it's stopped because we call, or because we call, but it's not going on now. That endangerment situation is currently not going on. So,
The doctor said, but there was also said that they can't have it house. So this may not still keeping them from having to peacefully avoid their property because they have been put under doctor's.
and that's why we're saying that enforcement. And so, again, I'm trying to separate the idea of when we can engage that shutdown versus our normal enforcement process. We're in that normal enforcement process now because of the violation that occurred.
okay, Christina Henry?
I'm Christina Henry, I live in Claremont. I'm sorry, I was not prepared to speak tonight, but I can't resist an opportunity to speak for 2 seconds EPA. Can you hear me okay? Bring it down. 3 weeks ago, I reported to TSAC a noxious burning your eyes odor coming from the scenic site. So I live in West Flower Mound, about a quarter of a mile from my house is my son's elementary school, Liberty Elementary. Directly behind his school is the Bunn gas well site. And less than a mile from the Bunn site is the scenic site, just to give you some geography. So I called it in, and TSAC came a couple days later and told me that, as you know, the process, I did not know, is they look and see if there's any volatile organic compounds more than 5 parts per million, and if there is, then they do further investigation. Well, there was 53 parts per million. And they took a air sample, and they're going to get back to me in 30 to 60 days. But in the meantime, one of my concerns is, what are we breathing? What's our children breathing? After I spoke with the town council in the Flower Mound meeting on Monday, my 7-year-old was diagnosed with asthma on Wednesday. Very good timing there. So, major concern for me is right now the scenic site, and what will we continue to breathe? Okay, so one of the real things I want to talk to you about, I moved into my house, my entire neighborhood is brand new. We moved in 2004, right about the same time that the Bun site was fracked, and they were doing flaring of emissions. And I stand before you as a breast cancer survivor. I was diagnosed just after my 31st birthday. My son was 2 and my other son was 5. And there's about 600 moms in my school, and there's 10 of us that have breast cancer that I know of. There are leukemia cases, there are thyroid cancer cases. I know parents with brain tumors. I don't want to be, panicked. I don't want to make all this cause and relation and panic people. But 1 out of every 275 young women in this country will be diagnosed with breast cancer under the age of 40. At Liberty Elementary, we have 1 out of 60 young women with breast cancer. I can't reconcile that with myself. And I'm very concerned about that. I'm very concerned about the air that we're breathing. And, I have a chest x-ray coming up on Friday. I'm worried that the cancer's return in my lungs. What if it's not? What if it's really the air I'm breathing coming from the scenic side? I just feel like I'm in this whole nightmare, and I don't know. So the cancer cluster study was done up until the year 2006. Eric Murphy did the cancer cluster. He's from the Texas Health Department. And we had some dialogue going, and he said, yes, in 75022, there's a higher breast cancer rate. He said, but flower brown sure is affluent. And we think the reason why there's more breast cancer cases is because more women can afford mammograms. And I said, you know what, Mr. Murphy, will you rerun those numbers and check to see up until the age of 40? Because women under the age of 40 don't do mammograms. And he did run those numbers, and it was higher. And he said, Mrs. Henry, I think the reason why we have higher rates of breast cancer in your area is because there must be a familial mutation, genetic mutation. Surely there's a cluster of a family that all got cancer in the same years. And I said, you know what? I know all of those women. None of us are related. All of us are new to Flower Mound. We all moved in around the same time, around 2004, when the flaring started. So there's nothing else he can say. There's no cause and effect. And I really struggle with that. Is there anything that you can say specifically to how do we address the scenic side and what we are currently breathing? And what can we do to further study the cancer clusters in my area? Thank you.
I have no expertise in that area. I can say that as far as what we do there, we're going to continue to do innovation plans. I try to make determination. I don't have any direct experience in those studies and how to evaluate them. One point I want to make, though, is that, just a point of clarification, you mentioned what Chris Rogers mentioned, the TVA requirement for 5-part building is really based on a must sample. It is not a below that we can sample or don't sample. What we try to do there is that we look at a company that we use our screening ability to see if we can all vacuum smell anything, or if we have emissions that we can know with our gas imaging camera. If we have those things and we don't have those levels of VOCs, we're still going to use the cameras. It's just that at that level, regardless of what other data we have, at that level we must sample. But
Right.
we can and we do sample below that 5 threshold.
Well,
Well, I
that
just
really
wanted
was
to
a very...
Well, listen, I thought I answered the first question first. I don't have
Okay.
expertise to evaluate that data, so I was
Okay, so I
hoping-
guess my plea to you is, could you somehow look further in your time into the scenic side, make sure it's handled appropriately? I know that, you're going to say every TSAC case is handled appropriately, but
We try, part of what we're talking about, some of our recon routes is that if we identify a facility where people can